Good times out. It's me, DjDoubleT, here and existing with some more Tavern Talk, as I'm your residential bartender, slash tavern keeper, slash advice columnist, apparently, forcefully forced to work at this establishment because Kasune doesn't want to work and applies me to everything here. But yeah, I am here to do all these choices and decisions. If you would like, today is a little bit different than usual because they recently added a new update to the game. They basically, every now and then I can actually click a button so where chat can actually make choices if they want to. Like, they can vote for certain things. I forgot what they do, but let me look it up real quick to remember how this works. Like, I will press like a plus sign, and then basically chat can say, okay, so all you have to type is like 1, 2, or 3. So you have to type a 1, 2, or 3, depending on the situation. And also, you guys can pet undo by typing exclamation mark pet undo, which I can also do. I forgot. Let me write that too. Hi, Watermelon Mon. Oh, Marlin Watermelon. How's it going? Let me see. Is it? How do I type this again? I want to make sure it's done all right. And pet undo. And when I say pet undo, it's whenever undo is like on camera to do stuff. But yeah, that's it for today. Well, for today, let's dive in to Act 3, The Twilight Flood, Chapter 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations, 31st of the Astral Moon. No. Respectfully, no. I'm good. Basically, personal space. I'm like, personal space. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster. I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. Are you truly, Water Marlin? Oh, she really does. As do you, Clay. Oh, thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks. They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? That'd be great. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered! Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. Ah, there's undo. This is the one. If you guys want to type a command for exclamation mark pet undo, pet space undo, you guys can pet undo if you want. Here you go, undo. Alright, what kind of drink do we want? Something I can remember. It is magic-y fist stuff. Also, alright, new chapter for Melly that I didn't get to read last time. Melly is already a source of inspiration for a certain... Oh! For a certain... writer. But Watermelon, how are you doing today? Maybe because she seems so independent, though her latest adventure has taught her that she can't do everything alone. It's good to see that she allows herself to be a child again after everything, and I couldn't be more proud. Alright, what kind of drink? I gotta make a fist drink. Well, not a fist drink, but you know, damage, attack. What do we got? I could make a cursed coffee. Why not? Oh, but I don't want to curse the poor guy. Let's, Oh yeah. Whether or not you're joking, you know, sometimes I've gotten a lot better with it over the years. I used to be like, I take everything everyone said as the direct truth, and kind of everyone's like very much serious. But nowadays, like, just in case, I want to establish, hey, these are boundaries. And then the other thing is like, I don't mind if you joke, as long as it's like not repeated to the point of like, no, deflect, block, you know, we'll roll with it. Why are you tipsy? Have you been drinking? You know, you're not the first person to be here at my stream and tipsy. I feel like it's happened more often than not. It's more lore, I guess. Okay, Sailor's Courage. Let's do that. Let's be buff. Should I ask why? Should I be concerned? Alright. Splashes of red for everybody. Lovely. We got some purple in there. No, we got some blue in there already. A bit of this, a bit of yellow. Not the Southern Brawler. We are making Sailor's Courage. There you go. Ah! Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Ooh, very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How were the archives? Fun! Were they? Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were, bleak? Cute. Cute. Very. Jay told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers. They were numerous, quite numerous, and so shaped. I decided to ask them if they could let us through. And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers and I extended my divine light to him. Made him glow softly and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings they can fold into their bodies? I didn't. And that's fascinating. They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. Hi, Sermius. Are you just waking up again for studies? You got class today? I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. Also, chat, if you guys want to get a drink, it's the perfect time to use the tavern, the exclamation mark tavern command if you want to use it. Or if you want to use exclamation mark drink. This is also a perfect time for that. And I have a new command, exclamation mark work, for those of you who need to be focused on work. For the most part. They never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it involved eating people. I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things. Ah. Alright, guys. I'm not gonna let you guys vote for this one right now, because all you guys would type is 1 or 2. So for now, I'll let you guys know when you guys can vote to join, like, with the game with me. But for now, I'm going to do the things I want to do. But I'm not that great at understanding things. I think he really understands people. I think he really understands people. And that helps him meet them where they're at. I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful. I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay. Thank you. But you've got your own strengths. Ah. Like, how you're a master of strategy. Or how you're so good at making people feel safe. I suppose we make a great team. The best, I might say. We made a great team with the Bleak Stalkers too. They let us right inside the archives, which were huge. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though, we did take a break to admire the artist hall, and the creatures excitedly let us too. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift to them. They loved them. Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. Ooh, how did that go? That way, they would always sense in which direction the other person was located. So neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. It was. Very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped us with navigating around the archives too. Nice, nice. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They love drinking out of the watering can. But they also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hi, Nari. Hopefully, they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame. All the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I still feel that love in it. Even during our visit, maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever? I wonder who named it. How's it going, Inari? We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind. Oh, why okay? Like okay like on the bad side or okay on the better side, or the okay as in like totally neutral? Why both? They should be people first, symbols second. Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Yes, good idea, Clay. What else did you find in the archives? Besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time, I mean. Care to elaborate, Nari? I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me toward the cooking section. It was so vast. I found so many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you. For me? Yes, a recipe from a book on mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting. We thought it would fit your repertoire. Recipe unlocked, Last Whisper. I think it does. Thank you very much. As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. Sounds like you got along with them rather well. I grew quite attached, or perhaps I would even call them my favorite animals. That means we solved your favorite animal quest. We did. They almost made me want to stay and waste more time. Isn't that strange? Not in Silas. Time well spent is time never wasted. Perhaps you're right. Anyhow, the study. It was a complete mess full of scripture scrolls and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse and of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the aether tree and how to mine them, written with shaking hands and fading ink. Was this the more scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Uh, do you know a lot about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. Wait, how did that happen, Inari? How did you cut yourself from your back all the way to your hip? Like, how was that possible? Did you, like, hit yourself on something? Oh dear. You know, that makes the stuff that I hurt my foot with pale in comparison. My foot still hurts, like, a bit. Like, I touch it and it's like, ow. Hey, but if it does leave, like, a cool scar, you can be like, hey, this is how I went to, like, this battle. You know, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Sorry, I'm not trying to make it humor of it. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it. In it, around it, somewhere. In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now. Because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. That's true. But luckily for us, damaging the Aether Tree isn't possible. If it makes you feel better, Anar, feel free to grab a drink or head into the tavern. Or if you need to be productive, you can use the new work command. Because I added that in. I did that last night instead of today. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the keys to destroying the Aether Tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy. A way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dungeons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. No, Cermius, you can't be dead now. I think if you drink again, you'll probably be able to not be poisoned, potentially. Next to the notes of old, I found others written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. See, there we go. Maybe you drank your soul. It's back in your body. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before. So, that's 2 broken sigils. That's not good. That's not that big of a deal. Alright, chat. I think this is where you guys can vote. So, when I click play, you guys can type 1 or 2 for choice 1 or choice 2. And you guys are welcome to make a choice. Well, we'll see. I think I would just say that's not good. Because I wouldn't say that's not that big of a deal. If you guys want to vote. You guys don't have to, but I'll give it about like 15 more seconds. Alright. Then we're going for that one. Oh, so that's how it works. So I can still make the choice, but you guys get to vote. That's cool. That's an incredible understatement. To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear, marked with the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? The Aether Tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance. The destruction would end us all. Who would want... Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. These all could still be natural occurrences. No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Or would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. Okay, Sirmius. Does that mean you're gonna be gone for the rest of the night and you won't be back? But then again, well, thank you for stopping by for the time being, and I hope to see you back again at some point. Unfortunately, I don't usually stream earlier. Sometimes I do. Maybe Friday I'll stream earlier. We'll see. And then maybe you can join when you're like about to go to bed. Who knows? I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Maybe they're all connected, and waking Ur will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of the Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world. Why do I feel like there's gonna be a weird trigger of very certain specific events that causes all to be a problem that will happen? I'm not looking forward to it. If the rest of them are as half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. Then the rest is worse. Sune, why do you throw me into these worlds where, great, I'm in a world thrown in by a god, forced to work, labor, and it potentially can be destroyed. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be lovely. Oh, Last Whisper, it looks so deadly. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why. Why the dragons in the endless horizon anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact, defended from the lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. Alright, we want some defense. Let's go. Alright, I can actually make a choice for the drinks, right? They said that... How does this work? Nice. Did you like destroy somebody? Hey Nari, type up !pet space undo. If you don't mind. See if petting undo works. There we go, it does work. So you guys can pet undo. Oh, you guys get to pet undo. So cute. Okay, what am I doing? I am doing this. Alright. Round Drago. Yes, the white round Drago. Okay, some of that. Some more blue. Red's already covered, and a hint of yellow. Alright, a Frost Lagoon. Ding ding. Coming right up. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather. What else? You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue? Exactly! You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw a Melina on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can't be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix then? None. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. Don't. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last thing I said to them, I'd hate for those words to say the last. I didn't mean to say it. It's just, it happened because I clicked the wrong option. Now I'm regretting it even more. Please, help me find them. Of course. I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first, we must solve our urgent situation problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece. Oh, you look different. Ooh, a piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Never have. Oh, maybe you should. Not as delicious as delicacy would be. Also, still no blood. Oh, the sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. Ooh, that would be splendid! I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bags shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. Alright. We want pure attack. Alright, let's give you cursed coffee. Because sometimes I feel like you're a cursed character. But like, in the best ways possible. So how do I make a cursed coffee? Ah, perfect. Alright, 2 splashes of red. 2 splashes of purple. And let's see what we get. A cursed coffee coming right up. Ding ding. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Woo! Thank you, dear Keeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as a comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. Ooh, how fortunate. And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a difficult idea of what they consider comfort food. Ooh, how wondrous. Though, something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Her patience is on a cooldown? Call it intuition. Okay. Either choice is fine. I'm gonna let you guys help decide. If you guys want to help me decide, chat, you guys are welcome to join in and put an answer in. All you have to do is type option, well, not type option 1, but type 1 or 2. Just the number. And that'll be a vote. Because I'm actually down for either or of the decisions. Very nice. 2. Call it intuition. I need to do one thing real quick. Alright, so I guess we're doing 2 then. That is our choice for today. Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good name, innkeeper. Want to help me find a better one? Ooh, of course. I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones in my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here, I had thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know? They have very colorful dreams. Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures! The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious. Yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first? The chicken? Or the egg? The egg? Ooh. Okay, I want to hear everybody's opinions on this. So you guys can put one or two if you guys want the egg or the chicken. But I want to say the egg. Can't believe they're throwing this into me. What are they gonna ask? Is a hot dog a sandwich soon? Is cereal a soup? Actually, does cereal even exist in this world? My mind's sitting here like, the world may never know mentally. Okay, and how you agree with me? Good. That's the only right choice. Wait. Oh. The huevos. Not going to weigh in? I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. Well, what, Inari? As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste, which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Ooh, certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago, when a scholar stone summoned the mortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to the Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all. Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Ooh. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. But most of us called him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon and his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess. Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still beat to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time, even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about. Ah! I stumbled upon it in the grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was the vampire romance book Kara recommended to you. Try again. Ooh, but of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruder stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. How overkill? How much overkill, Inari? She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. That's just enough damage, Inari. Just enough, you know? I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Merrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh, if only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only ripple remained. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn, what horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponent suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food. Despite his short and often fragmented memory, he has extensive knowledge of the origins of all vampires, which could be expected when you're a vampire yourself, I suppose. Even though he still seems to be caught up in his long-lost marriage, he really took a liking to the person who dug him up. So we got a bit of more Rhea, Fable, Care, Dave currently, Alethea. Sorry. Okay, so we got a bunch of the main characters. Okay. Scully, Grace. There's still one missing character. Millie's filled out. Clay's still... Oh, Clay. Even a big guy like him needs a bit of encouragement and positive reinforcement sometimes. I think he and Miss Anwar are definitely a good team. They even have matching friendship bracelets. Now, they just have to wear them. Clay also loves good food and would never want to miss a delicious barbecue. So this is almost full. Oh, her bravery verges on reception, but maybe it's just to stroke her own ego. She presumably has never taken a break in her whole life and probably never will. But lately, she seems to be warming up to others. Out of all the cute animals she could have chosen to love, she's particularly fond of bleak stalkers. You know, why like a pony when you can like horrid monsters, potentially? you know? Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Unionize. Oh! Greetings, brave adventurers. Ooh! Great morrow, innkeeper. There seem to be a few more bones than usual with you, Skelly. Scully. Oh! You observed correctly, my friend. Oh gosh, okay. Give me 1 second to figure out this guy's voice. This is gonna bug me for a second. See, I remember his voice, but for some reason his voice not coming back to me, and it's gonna bug me a little bit. You observe Oof. Okay, let me take a water. Ooh, you observe correctly, my friend. Ooh, that's not right. I know he's a distinguished Englishman, but I can't do my English voices today. It's so weird. Ooh, you observe correctly, my friend. Okay. You observe correctly, my friend. Oof. Why is it not hitting today? No. You observe correctly, my friend. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're gonna have to roll with this today. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? Sure are. Care to bring me up to speed, Care? That explains woefully little, Scully. I'm afraid I'll need a better explanation than that. And you shall not be disappointed, my friend. You must excuse me. There we go, a little bit better. All this enthusiasm is just bouncing around in my skull. Let us know when it hits a corner. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles. Crack. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first. And that can be arranged. Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Care. Alright, some good old combat. Let's not go for the cursed drink. I feel like Care's either Sailor's Curse. Let's go for Southern Brawler. Let's keep it simple today. Southern Brawler. Look. 3 bits of red. You know, Anari, someone came up to me. I forgot who came up to me in chat one time and said, "Oh, you're basically just doing the Penteconing event." And I was like, "You're not wrong." A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think that luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Oh. Melly's back. Oh. Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give you to you. Who? Ah, you know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. They'd better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself, just don't keep them waiting too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then. No. sure are taking their time. Feel like looking out for them yet? No, they're capable. Just my patience starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? Ooh, with an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura? I would like to do the proclamation of this proper justice. Proper justice. Alright, some charisma. Let's give it... not a silent owl. You want to be chatty. Let's give Peak Sunrise. Now, how did I make this again? Works for me. A bit of that. Some green. And 3 splashes of purple. And voila. Peak Sunrise. Wait. Oh, give a wrong drink to an adventurer. No! Here, something to reclaim the sparkle that you lost. They would always tell me, oh, ooh. I feel like I've reclaimed something. But I don't suppose it's the sparkle. Neither do I think this something should have been reclaimed. Do better next time. I know you can. Well, I got an achievement. Did I... Ah, I gave brain instead of charisma again. No. No. I messed up. I've done this once before. I like how they used to warn me, now they didn't. Well, I'm so sorry, Scully. You're the person I messed up for a drink for. Our quest was confusing. Inspiring. My favorite flavor quest. Not fine in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here. But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain. Metaphorically, for me, of course. Metaphorically, for me, of course. There we go. Got it. I found the voice. I'm so happy. I've been wondering about that, actually. No. We're not even gonna get started on that topic. I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Though, I would be delighted to share my theories with you, innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare, or 5. Now that back to the task at hand. We started making our way westward, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fasoan farmers. About the Fasoan farmers! The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far off course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track on foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica. That was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Oh, wrong voice. Sure did. Just had to get out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops and... With just one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold. Truly a sight to behold. Ah, there we go. Okay, I gotta maintain like the high register, but also do the accent again. Anyways. It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some back behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. They unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for a purpose than that? Because there is a difference between Scully and Kyle. Kyle is just more unhinged high register, while Scully is more controlled and a little bit has an accent. Oh, my apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. And you couldn't help but relate? In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet, your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn, I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea, and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name's Lieselot. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lieselot valiantly took us to the edge of the forest where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is, it stunk. Real bad. We left Lieselot there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained the smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyways, there was a veritable horde before us. An army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One odd tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back with the hand on my greatsword. The crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind, and so we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those in snails. They weren't just stumbling around and senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative. That simplified things considerably. My first course of action was clear. I let Dame Catelyn know of my intentions. Seemed reasonable enough. While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had been down on Scully's arm. Agony is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent mixing skills. Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests. My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent, maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately. All the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, when they regained composure, their expression was filled with joy. Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull. They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton. Alright, skeletons definitely do have expressions. They mostly express themselves through vibes. Let's go with skeletal vibes. Skeletal vibes. That sounds like some of your usual blah, blah. But this time, I'm almost willing to believe you. Excuse me. What are vibes, my friend? Have fun explaining that one. I guess you could think of them as some kind of aura that someone gives off. Fascinating. Fascinating. That sounds quite powerful. Could one harvest them like magic? Let's get back to the story. I got hiccups for some reason. It made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest. Which means? All those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition. And looking at the behavior, that seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to the necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective. That got them real heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again. But Dame Catelyn skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out, they didn't even have dental. Oh. Carolyn. I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me. It's a scam. That's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO. They didn't want to hear it. We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the tree's outer bark anymore. What would happen when the teeth deteriorated even further? The necromancer would have replaced them with another undead creature in a heartbeat. That's when Skull. That's when. That's when Scully really got some thick, I think. The words were just pouring out of my mouth, and I was elated that they were the right ones. The light reflecting off the frost armor really dazzled him too. Any skeleton with their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needn't be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies. It appears I have somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering, innkeeper. Union for the Undead. UFU 1755. Never forget your roots. They're welcome to visit any time. I think they really want to improve the situation. Most respectfully, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually. They're headed. Wrong voice. They're Carolyn? Their name's Carolyn. They're heading for the necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. And I keep I'm doing the bold voice accidentally into southern by accident. Whoopsies. Oh, thanks Casey for the follow. They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the Harlocks that broke off of one of them when they attacked Dame Carolyn. Their leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back into their skull. Oh, and this eyeball. Why, Nara, do you like their character? Is that what I'm hearing? Can't deny. Your resolution was pretty effective. Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons. Hi, Casey. How's it going? Even though I already kind of know how's it going. Oh, but we did get you something else as well, innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. And they're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all that gnawing. Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat. So we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. Scully, you ever thought about becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand them, but you seem to really care about all of this. Oh, no. I'm but a mere heap of bones, here to learn all I can. but it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evils are committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon. Sounds good to me. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. We didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we talked to them. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Vasoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Indeed. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? You don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Oh, if I had known what a dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I would have never have offered that greeting. Just realized where they could have been heading. It's true, there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undead. There might be tons more headed there even now. Indeed. Rumor unlocked. High fiber risks. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards them to gnaw at the divine roots as if to fell the aether tree. Have a tea party. It's clearly to fell the aether tree. Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the aether tree. The starfall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? And we don't know who was behind it yet either. Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the jail person you greeted outside of the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer. He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometime. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives in the Everbloom. Who would have thought that such a fearless warrior would never learn how to swim? But I'm sure her newly found family would teach her. Eventually, seems like Lone Wolf is not so lonely after all. Kara definitely lives up to her Baba's heritage, even if she herself doesn't see it yet. He's very interested in studying other undead since he came back conscious instead of being a lifeless puppet. He tried to strike up conversation with other zombies and even unionize with them. Now he's even committed to fighting for better working and unliving conditions for the undead. Interesting. The Everbloom. Did you encounter any bleak stalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Vasoa? I just realized his eyebrows are nailed in. I think. No. What are intellect wombats? Priorities, Tia. Scully, who woke you up? A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do, research. I remember the candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. Simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. Found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. The guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives. Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize their faces. Recognized faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer is behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon, and the death realm? And the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought of them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards, or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Miss Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons, by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. It should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm right there with you. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm right there with you. It seems like too insane a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and destroy Tuat. Just saying, things can be destroyed, chaos is problems, and All these things, right? And that would be disastrous in of itself. We've already got too many problems in this world as it is, you know? Too many issues. Not enough space. Space bags, right? Okay. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction. Way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they? No. And those sigils of alcohol, zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Oh dear, sounds like we're having so many problems. So little space. Space bags, guys. Space bags. And I don't think I'm ready for all of this. At least, for now. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. Oh dear. This is not looking good. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon. Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is, this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days or next year? Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle? Yes. Do you think he might have been the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. More so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Hi, Nampy. How long are you here for tonight? Yeah, Casey was here. Casey's back. You can say hi to them if you want. They're not here currently, but they were here. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. Also, Nampy, we have a new command. I added the work command in, so that should be helpful for you. I mean, Casey's not here currently, like, not watching. Oh, no work for you, Nampy. Also, Nampy, today, if you're gonna stick around for a bit, you can help me with choices you want. Like, there's a Twitch integration with this game now, so where you can help vote with me, or you can, like, go pet Ondu when you see Ondu. Fruity. Oh gosh, okay. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna sidetrack because there's a cricket in my room. Why in the world, we never know. Yeah! Oh, frick. I'm too slow. Yeah! Oh gosh, I'm too slow. How do you get this? Alright. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna take a bit. I'm gonna mute stuff real quick, guys. I'm dealing with a cricket. And fail. Alright, guys, I returned officially. My grandma got it for me because my grandma, she got like she got the Asian skills of like striking. And there's me. I just kept missing it. It kept on jumping. I was like, I'm just too slow. So I just called her. I was like, Grandma, you got this. Like, I'm quick enough if it comes to like having like a fly swatter for sure. But having like a napkin or something and reaching for it, I tend to fail. And I tried my best right there. I know, I didn't want my grandma to do more work, but I need the help. I didn't want it hopping around. And then, like, it hopped behind my PC, and then it went back out, and I was like, okay, grandma's got it. Cool. I don't know how it got my room, but got my room. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out of context is giving me a headache. Inkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this? Anything for you, Care. Yeah, but you gotta give the bot a second. You can't just use it like immediately, like rapid fire. And then, Nappy, if you want to use it, you can type up a command only for when we play this game, !pet space Ondu. So if you want to pet Ondu, you can pet Ondu. Chat, this is your time, guys. If you guys want to pet Ondu, you may. Ondu's with an A, Nappy. Mm-hmm. Okay, time to make a drink, guys. I believe there's something in, like, I thought there was where, like, it lets you guys pick the drink. Oh, no, it lets you vote for, like, which drink, like, if I want to make a drink with option 1 or 2, so it's not just a drink specifically. Well, that's kind of sad. Okay, so I need to make one with combat. Well, curse coffee. I'm just something simple. Let's go with Southern Brawler today, again. Good old Southern Brawler. 3 splashes of red. It's kind of interesting because, like, back where I was before I moved back home, there are no crickets, really. At least they don't travel in your house. But here, we got crickets. A Southern Brawler coming right up. Ding. Look at everybody in the drinks. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, like, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great, let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. Wait. Great idea. I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm. Also, Nampy, Puma's talking about you in Loftia. He says you're awesome. And then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Yeah, and also Puma's too busy. He's not gonna join today. But he can talk in Loftia. That hurts our feelings, right? We don't like hanging out here. Kidding. Kid. Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymakers markers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great, let's go beat his... Hold on. What if you don't succeed? What if he's right? Alright, chat, I think I'll go for this one. What do you guys want to vote for? I'll just type in 1 or 2 for the choice, if you guys have been hearing the story so far. Do you guys want 1 or 2? What if you don't succeed? What if he's right? And I'll give it a bit of time. If nothing happens, then I will figure it out. Okay. I guess it's time for me to make the choice. I'll go with it. What if he's right? Pardon? I mean, what if there's a point to all of this? No one goes this far for nothing, right? Plenty of people do horrible things for terrible reasons. And even noble reasons don't make horrible things good. Regardless of our sympathy for his motives, we shouldn't rush into this immediately. This all calls for a backup plan. Does it now? Does it all call for a backup plan? I guess it does. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his.
Not sure if it's enough, but I do have the sword I got from my baba.
Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity.
What if it was mixed with dragon fire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that.
You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is.
Rhea. She's a blacksmith.
Would be great for competition for sure, if she cares enough. You're right, and there's no one better for the job. Let's go 3. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Care.
You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me.
Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes us me even more confident than that we can stop this necromancer's plan. I have the utmost faith in us, and I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though, I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well.
And the others too.
Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough.
Don't worry. There's a lot of people who can ask for help. Like you.
Like me? Ask away. I prefer if you kept me out of this. Ask away.
I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right?
Oh, what? No. No. Silly, no. We don't do that here. I try my best.
Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going all at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, they'll give us an excuse to have your dreams to help us.
Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Not at all. Cautiously. Deeply. Cautiously. Exactly. Cautiously, but...
With hope.
With hope, yes. We'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us.
You got that right. Let's go.
Let's go, everybody. Time for some drinks. Da da da, time for some drinks. Who's ready for some drinks? One quick second, just doing something really quickly.
I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Minkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright?
Let's, Clay. Good luck. Alright. Well, calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat in the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ore, and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to expose roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis. Since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots, this is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan. But the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. And then... only weapon forged in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Ore. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame of an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. There you go, Andu. Some food. Sweep, sweep, sweep. And lastly... blowing out the candle. Act 3, The Twilight Flood, Chapter 22. Twilight Zinnias, 32nd of the Astral Moon. Let's start the day. Good morning. Slept well?
That greeting ain't gonna do, Gamekeep. Give me your best lines. I'll hear 'em all today.
Top of the morning to you, adventurers. Hello?
Go on.
Peace and contentment be upon you, travelers.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet water and good berries, friends?
Alright, enough.
You seem to be in high spirits.
Not often you get the chance to work on the project of a lifetime.
I'm glad you're so passionate about this. Hope you didn't give Care too hard of a time convincing you.
Nah. Once I mentioned Dragonfire, it would have been harder to stop her from going on the quest. It was just tough to find her. Didn't take you for a nighttime soup enjoyer. Not usually. I can persuade it though, with the right soup and company.
I assume your quest for comfort food turned out successful?
Not at all. It was thwarted by the shadow of night. Dearest Rhea, promised we shall endeavor to make shortbread another day, when the sun is high in the sky, and the stores are open. I'll need to make that sword first, though.
Did Carolyn update you on what's at stake?
Sure did. Those sigils of alcoholic zest won't know what hit them when they see my newly forged weapon.
It's sigils of Algast.
Gesundheit.
So I assumed you've worked out a game plan.
More or less. Not like we've got a lot of info in that quest of yours.
I'm sorry?
You worked with what you had. We'll manage. Although that ever-burning flame of Leviathan sounds like more like a myth than something real.
Sounds exactly like something you need for a mythical weapon capable of saving the world.
Ah, still, are you sure you're okay with reforging your sword for this care? Yes, that's the right thing to do. That wasn't what I was asking about. Believe me, I know a thing or two about the importance of an heirloom. It's fine. It's just, I wonder if I'll still feel the same connection to my Baba when I'll look at the sword afterwards. Eventually, everything she grazed at in life will be gone.
Don't you think she'd look like looking at the sword of Carolyn the hero?
That has a quite wonderful ring to it. I didn't know you were grandma, but reforging that sword with dragon fire to save the world. I think she would have been mighty proud of you. And I'll make sure that weapon is the best anyone's swung this side of the Aether Tree.
Remember that. The best thing you got. The best. And we got this, guys. We got this. We have a competition win after all.
Exactly. I've been thinking all night about what techniques to use. The design ain't exactly final, but I'll finish it during our trip to the Highlands if I'm fast enough.
Rhea, are you doing okay?
Never heard of giving someone time to think.
You seem to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
This can't just be some simple run-of-the-mill weapon. And there's so much to decide before starting the forging process. Hidden, quenching, tampering. And the 5 Verican heat treatment techniques. And the 5... Wait. That could actually work. I'm surprised you still remember those. Certainly. You were very passionate about the method. I'm just stoked to get a weapon made by you, Rhea. If it's you, I know my Baba's sword is in good hands.
You seem to have the forging part covered. Anything planned for the rest of the quest?
Right. Since we don't really know much about who or what might be guarding the flame, we're taking Hex along. Should we encounter any defenses of the magical sort? As for how to get to the Highlands, Clay and Tia couldn't come along, so let's hope Baya is up for helping us with her tree travel thing.
Seems like you've got your bases covered. You as the main fighter, Ray as the craftsmaster, Hex and Baya as magical support, and Kyle as...
I'm afraid I won't be able to fill a role this time, Gamekeeper. I tried to distract myself, but the thought of dear Evelyn hurt and alone, or worse. It struck me with a torment strong enough to make even this undead heart bleed with worry. No matter what transpired between us, all I craved was to know her safe. But to allow my new friends to march into danger alone was no less distressing. He was almost inconsolable the entire evening. I didn't want to choose one side, only to lose the other forever. That's when I slammed my empty bowl of soup down the table between us. Sorry, I'm having trouble just maintaining both voices. We weren't gonna go off and die just because he took his eyes off of us for a few days. And yet, that very fate had struck me several times in the past. I said, well, too, I'll be damned if you never get to see me master a weapon. Doesn't matter if I have to chew my way through that tree myself. Heard the dead have a taste for bark anyways. It was as if those words washed away most of the anguish that was ailing my soul. Surely it was time to believe in the future, and to reconcile with the past I left behind, all for my most cherished people, as long as I didn't forget along the way. But we found no workaround for that. Flashcards. I just need to pull them out and be greeted by the wonderful cards prepared for me by Ray and Carolyn, even though they may be far from me.
That sounds great, Kyle.
And there's one about you as well.
Ooh. I'm honored. Seems like you thought of everything then.
Hopefully. Some help from your drinks would be mighty appreciated nonetheless.
Anything particular in mind? Some fire resistance seems like it come pretty handy.
That does sound reasonable. We could focus on agility if we're already gonna go in that direction. Don't think we want to take whatever traps we run into head on. And add some strength as well for anything we can't avoid. That and the fire resistance should definitely help with forging the weapon as well. Though, the ghost barrier I brought you yesterday wouldn't mind some invisibility either. Might give us some imaginative ways to deal with whatever challenge we end up facing. Concentrated intelligence to take full advantage of that sounds like a good option too.
Hex would like that.
I bet. Knowing him, there's an equal chance of his ideas going right or horribly wrong. If things go south, we'll need the charm to talk our way out of anything. And this way, dear Evelyn, will be stunned by my most captivating entrance. Sounds decent. Some intelligence could also help with figuring out those techniques you mentioned. And my design, I guess. Alright, Inkeep, you look like you're busting to help us out with this decision. Is it kind of dexterity with some strength as its backup and fire resistance, or should we approach this with intelligence, a small dose of charisma in case things go really wrong? And some handy invisibility?
Well, if you're asking me. So, I have my idea of what I want to do, guys, in chat. What do you guys think would be fun to do? Because I think I'm gonna go with the order of agility. If I can remember what recipe requires the agility part. This one? Agility, and I need to get some defense. Fire resistance. You sleep? Is it time for bed, Inari? Or you just need rest? Aha! There it is. Alright, Inari. Thank you for coming by. I hope you get some good rest. Oh, and a bit of this. Brain juice. Last whisper, guys. There are a lot of unknown factors here, and talking things out can only work if the other party can talk. Plus, that fire resistance seems crucial.
There was a mighty fine drink. I feel like I could forge the weapon in one of Leviathan's volcanoes.
Oh, you did, Nappy? Who's the new friend? And why did you make a new friend? I would joke with, are you bringing your friend here?
I sure feel like a bit calmer knowing I can rely on my strength if it comes down to it.
Oh, I'm glad.
And with that, we're off to the Highlands. Me and Kyle are gonna go grab Hex. Before I let him go check on his ex-wife. You go get Baya? Sure. Good.
Or do I know this friend, Nappy? It'd be funny if I did know them already.
Alright,
That's it, Inky. One last line for good luck. Make it count. Mind the creaky step on your way out. Fair. Peppy, the garden fairy? Oh. Oh yeah, I know who Peppy is. Yeah, you know, I've spoken to Peppy many times. Peppy and Lenny, they've been there for a while.
Kinda weird, isn't it?
What is?
There's going to be a battle for the fate of the world. But Elfie ain't even here to worry themselves stupid about it. They'd have loved this, I think. Not the impending doom, but all this getting together to defeat evil stuff. Make sure to tell those guys heading into the Twilight Portal to keep an eye out for them.
I will.
Good. So it's time for me to head out as well.
Stay safe, Care.
Always, Innkeeper.
I do wonder if she's okay. She's been gone for so long. Innkeeper, we have returned. I can see that, Tia. I was waiting you. I'm surprised to see you here, Jade. Yeah. Well, Miss Holier Than Thou dragged me along. Some blah. Oops. Some blah. About finally doing my part. I distinctly remember you expressing open interest in our plight when we were talking to Inigo. I believe you asked multiple questions that indicated your desire to help. And I remember asking how much you would pay, and you said nothing, so I said, no thanks. And yet, you didn't resist coming along. Do you have a better job lined up, Kate Jade? Not yet. Inigo and I are eyeing something, but I guess I've got some time to kill. Perhaps Inigo can help too, then. Perhaps Inigo can cause chaos on their own, then. They better. Not sure if I can deal with the princess here alone. No need to deal with me. I can handle myself.
I'd love to have Inigo on the team.
Me too. I assume you have written us a quest, Innkeeper. I have. Take a look. Excellent work.
I knew we could count on you.
Let me have a look at that. We just have to catch the guy at the portal. Seems simple enough. We could even set up an ambush.
Or be sneaky if he's already there.
You can sneak, big guy.
I can do a lot of things. A few years back, I spent time with some lithic panthers who showed me how to sneak up on anybody. I just don't like doing it. It seems a bit rude, you know?
No, I don't.
But I think this situation calls for a little rudeness.
Agreed. It does. And for a little more manpower. You're right, Innkeeper. We should ask Inigo for help. Also, Hex suggested taking Voy along. He's great at distractions and knows his way around Twilight Chasm should our quest lead into it. Apparently has a family there. Though I hope we don't need to serve them. Anyone else? We can search a whole lot more, but Scully and Grace made a good point.
They said not everyone is battle tested and that it'd be reckless to take inexperienced adventurers along. They also said we should look into more backup plans for the backup plan. I think they just wanted an excuse to do some research and to stay away from the bloodshed.
Can't blame them.
Millie really wanted to come too, but Dave said no.
Is he coming himself?
Of course, made these two ask him before we got here.
We need good fighters, and kids got some talent. I hope he said goodbye properly this time. Callan made sure he did. Never saw more a terrifying death glare in my whole life.
It was very impressive. It was... So, are you finished with your questions? Actually, could you review the plan for me one more time? It's been a long couple of weeks. Sure, so listen up. We make it to the Twilight Portal by the moon pools, and we stop a big bad evil from going through. If we fail that, or if he's faster than us, we chase him through the Twilight Chasm and into Ur. And we prevent him from getting that fancy axe. And if that fails, well, we stop him at all costs. Sounds like a good plan. While you're at it, will you keep an eye out for people for me? Of course. Now, Innkeeper, by the dragons and all that is holy in this world, can we count on your help again? No? Yes. What do you need? Easy. We just need to be quicker than that maniac. We should be the first to reach the portal. And we should be the first to attack him, all while dodging his counterattacks. Outspeeding him seems like the smartest option here. You're wrong. It's foolish to think his strikes won't be powerful. We need to be well protected against him so we can take him down before he really hurts any of us. Don't be stupid. If we're fast enough, he won't even get a chance to hurt us. I'd like you to say that again when you're lying in a pool of your own blood. Okay, maybe we need both. It's just the balance that counts. We could focus on a whole lot of defense, but keep some dexterity in our back pocket. And maybe some of those fast infusion thingies could make up the difference. I could hasten you with some golden feathers or fever fangs. Right. Alternatively, you could give us a lot of dexterity instead, with just a little bit of defense on top. And to make sure we don't get hurt, you can give us some of that frost armor Skelly keeps talking about. Sure thing. I've got enough frozen pecans left for that. I don't think Jade and Tia can make a decision without bloodshed, so could you help us out? Of course. I know just what to do. I know just what to do. I say let's go purely defense with an infusion of speed. A little bit of zimmers. A bit more of attack. And a lot of defense. Voila. No? Oh, I messed it up. I gave too much of... Oh, whoops, my bad. Don't you love it when DJ can't make a drink? Oops. Wait a second, you can actually pour a drink past Ondu? I wonder if it's an achievement to spill all this drink on the floor. This is my curiosity. I am curious, can you actually how Ondu drink too much? Or what happens if I do this? Sorry, I'm just doing something out of curiosity. No. I'm just trying to see if what happens if you Ondu too much? Does Ondu like transform? Could you imagine Ondu like evolving? Okay, so one more bit of red. And then a lot of blue. Boop. Steel tonic. Let's be defensive. Defense should be your #1 priority. But I think haste makes for a good backup plan. You can never have enough of those. See, I was right as usual. You chose the right focus, Innkeeper. Ugh. At least we'll be fast. Oh, wrong voice. At least we'll be fast. So I don't have to listen to you gloat much longer.
let's get this over with. Nappy, who's your favorite character so far? You've met so many characters because you've been here for them. Alright, Clay, let's go. You don't know? I thought you had a favorite. Clay?
I...
Are you okay?
No, I don't think so. Aren't you scared?
Of what?
All this? The fate of the world is a very heavy weight to bear, don't you think? What if someone gets hurt and I can't stop it? What if I can't protect you and the others and the world and the ferrets?
Clay, stop, please. For a moment, just stop. Well, which characters do you like, Nappy, so far, then? I know this is scary, truth be told. I'm scared too. My whole life has been building up to this moment. I've always been told I'm meant to save people, and if I can't, what's the point of me, you know?
You are the point. I'm glad you exist, even if you don't save anyone. You're not some mythical savior, my friend.
Such a Bob Ross answer. And you are mine, and I'm a little less afraid because I have you with me. You taught me how to value myself as a person despite all the weight on my shoulders. I wish you would do the same for yourself. I promise you, together we will get through this. And we will save each other, and our friends, and the world from all of the ferrets. And the innkeeper while we're at it. Thank you. I appreciate being included. You're enough, Clay. Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. You're enough, Clay. You're a big boy. Big boy-o. And you don't have to worry that you're not. And you too, Tia. Don't think I'm excluding you. I wouldn't dream of it.
Having you to believe in me is all the strength I need. Can we still hold hands on the way there, so it's a little less scary?
Of course. And remember, you can never lose me. Your bracelet will always tell you exactly where I am. And if you get lost somehow, despite your impeccable sense of orientation, mine will help me find you too.
You just get lost looking.
Maybe I'd have to ask Jade for help. I'd do that for you.
Thank you, Tia. You're a great best friend.
Not best friend.
You're a great best friend.
Oh? So are you. Alright then. Best bud? Let's do this. Together. Best of luck.
We won't need it.
Okay. New character stuff. Let's see. Wait. Okay, that. He cares as much about the people around him as he does about all the animals he meets. He knows his own strength and how helpful his abilities are, but that also puts immense pressure on him. He wants to protect everyone, but even a half-giant can only do so much. So it's good to see him believing in himself.
We won't need it.
I think there's one more thing tonight. Grace? You must have made them really good drinks, innkeeper. I've never seen Clay that determined. I try my best. I have to say, Grace, I'm surprised you're not accompanying Hex to see the ever-burning flame. She didn't want to stop her studying the magic spells. She thinks they might help us solve all this. I think what might help me right now is a drink. Something that'll help get thoughts flowing gracefully despite all this mess. Give me a moment. Alright, time to give some brain power properly. Okay, this time it's peak sunrise. Can't mess this up, guys. Can't mess it up. If I mess it up, I'm gonna cry. Internally. Because I've already messed up a drink today. Alright. Peak sunrise. Ding. There it goes. A delicious thought, detangler just for you. I don't think I've ever tasted a Tangler as delicious as this.
You've tasted a Tangler?
Melly, would you like a drink as well?
No, thank you. I've already had 3 hot chocolates today. I think if any more magic enters my system, I'm gonna eat the sun.
On to another topic then. I heard you formed a research team?
We did. Obviously, Grace and I are the leaders, but we also recruited Scully and Archie. And Una said she wanted to sit with us and crochet while we work.
What a great excuse to help. Lazy usual, I see. She insists we don't call it helping. Of course she does.
Rufus is helping us too. His wool is so soft, it calms everyone down. I wish Dave would join us too. I guess he's busy fighting the mean guy. But he promised he'd be back soon, so...
And he'd better keep that promise. What are you looking to anyway? Melly mentioned spells. Are those the ones Hex found in the tower? Yes, those ones exactly. He stayed up all night decoding their formulas, but as soon as he figured out what they were about, he lost interest. So I picked them up. Most of them were rudimentary, all things we already have in our spellbooks. But 2 stuck out to me. Care to educate me? Which one do you want to hear about first? Teleportation or soul binding? Soul binding. Hex brought home a glass case with a glowing, floating scroll inside. After we got it out and removed all the protective runes, he was pretty disappointed. A riddle-locked glass case and protective runes seems like someone didn't want it to be used. I'm pretty sure I know why. It describes pulling souls right out of people's bodies and binding them to objects. Really volatile magic and dangerous, I assume. It's been a little hard to translate. I'm trying to figure out any side effects it may have, so I can convince Hex not to use it whenever he's slightly inconvenienced. Sounds difficult, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. What about the other scroll? The other scroll. One of the scrolls he found holds a powerful teleportation spell. Now I fancy myself quite equipped at conjuration magic, but Hex finds it boring. He picked the scroll up because he assumed the golden runes made him special. He was right, but I guess it didn't have enough fire for him. More special than a soul-binding scroll? No, but still special enough. I think. If cast correctly, it could get you anywhere in Styria with incredible accuracy, even to protect places in other planes, but trying to figure out how to use it without destroying myself. It requires more mana than people usually have in their body. So you think it killed Caster? Almost certainly so. It still has a lot of promise. Maybe I can modify it. Best of luck. Thank you. Hex also brought back a lot of the wizard's personal notes. So we got one for Fable to finish off. Dave. One with Una. Okay. Grace is probably Voyage's biggest fan. Oh gosh, what's wrong with my words all of a sudden? Grace is probably Voyage's biggest fan. From time to time, she argues with her brother because, to her, he seems very controlling, even though she's more than capable of casting protective spells. But now, she has her hands on 2 very powerful yet dangerous spells, and is determined to figure out how to use them. Hex also brought back a lot of the wizard's personal notes, diaries and such retellings of his exploits and his hopes, dreams, and fears. When I have some more time, I think I'll be able to do a deep dive into who he was. Maybe I can even put a little exhibition together if Void and Nico let me borrow some magical items. I doubt they'd dare refuse you. I'd hope not.
I want some magic scrolls of my own to decipher. But first we need to finish this research just because we need to figure out what to do if
It's just nice to have something to do is all.
Plus, I'll take any excuse to hear more of Scully's Everbloom stories.
He's trying to figure out whether we can reverse the sigils. That'd be neat.
Maybe you can duct tape them back together.
I don't think so. With Archie's help, I also made this whole board where I can collect and connect all of our clues. Specify... Spaghetti.
Specifically?
Specifically, I've been looking into who exactly that necromancer guy could be. Clay said he noticed some flowers on his armor, and I think that might be a clue. Maybe he's a florist, or they're zombie flowers, or he wants to destroy all the flowers. I need to figure out what his motive is. Because if we can figure out his motive, we can figure out who he is, and then we can figure out his weaknesses. Not that we'll need them, because Dave and the others will... What did he say? Kick his abs? Oh, well, but looking into it, it makes me... calmer? Yes. They'll be alright. Right, Innkeeper? The zombies aren't going to eat them, like they ate my parents.
They won't. They might. They won't. They'll all protect each other. He'll come back for you.
I hope so. I don't want that to happen again. I miss my parents. I wish they were here to hold my hand.
What were they like?
Well, I remember my dad always told me bedtime stories about swashbuckling burglars. And I remember my mom loved making things out of yarn, especially socks. And they were really nice and cool, and I loved them so much.
I know I can't replace your parents, but is it okay if I hold your hand until Dave, Carolyn, and Faye will come back?
That'd be nice. I feel a lot safer with them around, you know, like I'm home again.
You're not alone anymore. You are home. You are home.
I think so too. But enough dramatic backstory. I'm turning into Dave. Just less for Preston Gay for Fable.
Maybe it's time to head out. We'll update you on our research tomorrow, Innkeeper, but first...
We're going to get a lot of ice cream.
Exactly. Una promised she'd make some. Save some for me. We'll try. Oh. Hello there. It's been a while since you last showed up. I thought something might have happened to you. I feared you went home without saying goodbye. What if you're the necromancer? Anyways. Quincy. A lot of things have happened. Not all of them good. Which also means not all of them were bad either. I did end up finding those golden loon feathers quickly. A little help from Voyage. With everything going down... With everything going down, I decided to stick around and help those in need. That sounds just like you. How are things with you, though? You don't need to say much for me to know what that face means. I've seen it once or twice before. There's something I can do for you. What is there to be done, Quincy? It's like everything is in limbo. Like dancing on the edge of a blade? One wrong move and it's over? Something like that. Would it help if I asked for you for a drink? Maybe. You know what always helps me when I'm feeling down? What? A good cup of Quincy's hot chocolate. Here. After all, I've heard you might need it more than me. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Now go on. Make me a drink. This one or another one. Whatever you'd like. Ooh, we got hot cocoa. We got hot cocoa. Sorry. We got hot cocoa, guys. We got hot cocoa. Oh, right. So all these, like, little things. So I'm guessing these are all, like, the quests that we have done so far, story-wise. Kind of cool. I wonder if there are different choices that lead to different quests. And we'll figure out and find them at some point in time. Okay. Hot cocoa we make. We make hot cocoa. Hot cocoa. Yum. Okay, how to make hot cocoa? Hot cocoa. Does hot cocoa require hot? No? Okay. Some of that. Some defense. Which makes sense. Because it's hot. A bit of that. And 2 splashes of this. Some hot cocoa. Come right up. Mix every drink at least once. Oh yeah! Let's go. We made some hot cocoa. Couldn't wait to try it out right away. Well, you replicated it perfectly. My hands and heart are warm. Want to sip yourself? You look like you need it. Maybe later. May this drink be warmer than the currents of these times. It most certainly is. Thank you and keep. Of course. So, how are you? Well, I'm okay, I think. Just numb. I'm losing my mind. Understandable. Feels like an underreaction. It feels like there are a million different emotions whirling around in my head. Almost none of them good. And if they are good, my worries twist them into something horrifying. That doesn't seem fair. I don't know if emotions can be fair or unfair. Either way, it's good to feel things. Reminds you you're alive. I'd like to feel a little less. We all say that until we suddenly do. And then we wish we weren't so empty. Isn't it good to care again? To have people you want to be well? Maybe. I didn't think I'd care again. I didn't want to, but it just happened. Yes, just like that. Without my consent, I might add. The heart wants what it wants, and sometimes what it wants is friendship. But I can see how that's a scary feeling. So many things are on the line now. Perhaps more than you bargained for. It was easier when I just looked away. Would you rather look away than help your patrons, your friends? No. No. Yes. No. I wouldn't want any of that. But now I have to face the fear of losing them. Funny. Didn't you swear to me you were done fearing death and you had nothing left to lose? Sometimes lying to yourself is easier than lying to others, I guess. I'll keep my "I told you so" to myself. I just feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle. There's no way out that doesn't tear me apart. Would it help you to know we've all felt like that at some point in our lives? Not really, no. Then let me leave you with this instead. Love may come at the price of loss, but the inevitability of loss also comes with the reward of love. You can't lose something without having loved it. And so you should love whatever it is you fear to lose. Those are the moments that matter, the moments that make your life worth living. Besides, you have the power to step out of that cursed circle anytime. Do I? Write your own love story, my friend. Don't doom yourself because you think it's what you deserve. I forgot how good you are at giving advice.
Makes me a bit envious. You'll get there eventually. I hope so. Thanks for checking in. I think I needed that. Of course! Please don't stop reaching out. Safety of isolation is not worth the loneliness. I'll try to remember that. You better. Now, I heard the night market is close by and I really don't want to waste this opportunity, so... don't let me hold you back. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be safe out there. Why don't I get a catchphrase? Oh well. Guess it comes with age. Maybe next millennium. Oh. Excuse me. Nappy! Nappy, you still here? This is the big bad evil? The BBE? Excuse me. Hi, Nappy. Good you're here. Nappy, this is the big bad evil, the BBE. Big bad guy, bad evil guy. Or big bad evil, I think? Yeah. It's because the BBGE is big bad... Sorry, BBEG is big bad evil guy. BBE is big bad evil. So he's supposed to be like the necromancer. Oh. Okay. Hello. Oop. Hello, old friend. Catch up with your past. Greetings, traveler. Nice armor. Is it new? No. Doesn't it seem familiar? The flowers certainly do. Did you keep my books? You know, I imagine this place differently. It's nice. Thank you. But I thought you'd be long gone by now, after all. You like running, don't you? I like it here. Though, your visit is making me consider moving soon. It's not advised to stay in one place for too long anyway. Eventually, the past will catch up to you. I figured. What brings you here, really, Quasar? You know, this and that. I paid Morrow's castle a visit. It's quite serene this time of year. What for? Sightseeing, trespassing. You broke in. I wouldn't phrase it like that. Burglary is incredibly impolite. I was persistent in my approach. Politely, I knocked on the door. Unfortunately, vampires these days have no hospitality. The lady of the house greeted me with a snarl and slammed the door in my face. Not like that stopped me, but I found it quite rude. So, you did break in? Obviously, as a last resort. There was something I needed more than manners. As expected, she wouldn't give up her precious relic freely. So, you killed her. I would have, but no. The rat escaped. In the blink of an eye, she dissolved into mist. I always considered that to be a vampire's most annoying skill. But at least I got what I wanted. And what would that be? Curious as ever, aren't you? And that's why I made it my job. What? Being nosy? Something like that. I get to hear a lot of things every day. People like to talk. You manipulate your patrons into telling you the darkest secrets. I don't manipulate, I listen. Exactly. You know me too well.
Hey, I'm just a tavern keeper. I don't manipulate, I listen. Sune might, but that's Sune. So I just listen. I'm all ears. What would Lady Evelyn have that you, Quasar Dustbringer, would want? Just a little blood. Ingredients for the execution of a grand design. Grand design? We would never once to make big plans. Speak for yourself. Maybe times changed you. Oddly enough, you still look the same. Hmm. I had to make sure you'd recognize me after all. How could I ever forget you? It seems like it was pretty easy for you to move on. It wasn't. Yet you're hiding. You ran away from everything that once mattered to build a life behind a counter in a shabby tavern. Welcome back, Water Marlin. Where have you been? Is that why you're here? Throw your accusations around? No. I guess I just wanted one less chat now that everything's coming to an end. And I'm curious about how this old friend of mine is doing. So, how are you doing, friend? Hey, Sue. What food did you eat? I'm full of hope for a better tomorrow. I'm worried the world we know will end. Me too. I'm just afraid that we're hoping for different dawns. We might be. How are you doing? Do you even want to know? It's my job. My tavern is open to everyone. Your protective spells beg to differ. They let you through, didn't they? So, how about a drink? And you tell me whatever it is you need to get off your chest. Sure. Let's see if you still know me well enough. And if you remember what I taught you. Of course I do. Oh no, Andu! I'm scared. No, Andu's scared. Well, can you guys pet Andu? Andu's scared. Oh. He wants charisma. Oh yeah. Pizza's good. Pizza's for sure good. Spell it wrong, Nappy. You gotta spell it right. I don't think you can pet Andu this time around. I think this guy needs some sunshine. Or a spoken heart. You know what? Let's go spoken heart. Let's keep it as simple as possible. I think Andu's too scared to pet, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. So his name is Quasar. So he's the big BBE. It's okay, Andu. Here. Oh. Maybe you keep dancing wildly tonight. Are you okay? How about this? Sweet and chatty. Mm. 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 Not bad. Almost tastes like back in the day. Did you think I'd forget? Yes, I assumed you're as good as abandoning memories as you are at abandoning people. Ouch. It seems like people are right about one thing, though. That would be... the Ordrings, they can't influence fate. They can't save people. They can push them in a direction, alter their destiny. I wouldn't go that far. I simply do my best to support my patrons in their endeavors. Will you support my endeavor? As I said, I serve everyone in this tavern. How noble. How awfully morally gray. How opportunistic. It's like nothing's changed. I like it that way. Making decisions for people, leading them to their doom. All because you can't help but wonder what a little entropy would do. I help. You help, sure. Sure. You always liked to help when it was most convenient for you. When it got people to love you. I hope all your helping has aided you in forgetting them. I didn't forget them. Oh, is that so? I couldn't sleep for months. My heart bled and bled until there was nothing left to be bled. I was alone. By the end of it, when nothing was left, there was just one question. How could that one person I trusted with my life turn on me like that? How dare they leave me with nothing but the stars, staring at them alone, wondering whether the blood would ever wash off, and how, by the dragons and their false light. Is all you've done with your freedom, this dastardly achieved freedom, this. There's still blood on your hand, and on yours, and our hands. It took me way too long to realize that I didn't have to give up. That I'm not like you. It doesn't have to be their blood that sticks to my hands. They're gone. Not for much longer. Soon the star rain and the flood that washed away all yesterday will open the gates to a new tomorrow. A new horizon, unhaunted by still ghosts. Quasar. Innkeeper? Why would you do something like this? Don't we owe it to them? The you I knew would have agreed. The me you knew was foolish. Some situations are hopeless, and some decisions aren't easy. Decisions are quite easy if you set your mind to it. Say I need to tear apart Cassiopeia's wings for the stars to rain upon Gaia. Ambitious task. I could decide not to abandon my plans because I'm intimidated by the complexity, or scared of the consequences, but no. Instead, I choose to stick with it and get what I want. I don't give up, I succeed. It truly is that simple. If you care, you'll get it done, no matter how much effort it may take. Everyone was dead. I wasn't. Didn't we promise to always stand by each other's side? To never be alone again? We did. We did. Didn't they deserve the same? They did. They did. And why are you here and they aren't? I don't know. Me neither. What did we mean to you? Nothing. We meant nothing to you. The home we built, it meant so little. That's not true. Do you still ponder about the meaning of life watching the stars? No. There aren't any more. Anymore. It's better that way. It means there's no risk of getting caught up in trivial things. Like getting caught up in the thought of a world without pain. Like that. So naive. So stupid. It meant everything to me. It was bound to break. I don't know where to go with this. It was bound to break? Oh, Nampy's off to Gotham. Oh, good night, Nampy. It meant everything to me. It meant everything to me. Don't lie to me! I've seen through the charade. Your tricks don't work on me anymore. Look at the stars now as they lie at our feet. A declaration of your failure. An elegy to your cowardice. And a demonstration of my endurance. Everything is set. Everyone will get what they deserve. Even your little replacements. Soon there'll be no more but a fading memory on the horizon. Feels familiar, doesn't it? They're alive. They can be saved. They're alive indeed. What you should ask yourself is for how much longer, and if the time comes, will you run again? No. But you sent them to their deaths, did you not? I sent them to stop you. I'm aware. I'm very aware. Which reminds me, I'll have to leave soon before your little pawns interfere with my threats of fate. Gertrude, come on. It's time to go home. Hold up, that bird was his this whole time? Interesting. Care to explain? I sent you a little companion so you wouldn't be so alone. But I need her back now. You know I value my privacy. And I value the perfect execution of my plans. So thank you for collecting so much information for me. You don't have to do this. I don't, but I will. Anyway, I've got somewhere to be. Speaking of which, of my invitation, the offer still stands. Join me and watch as I repair what you destroyed 30 years ago. Join me to witness the renaissance of times past. I can't. My place is here. What a pity. It almost pains me to see you haven't changed one bit. I've moved on. You should try it sometime. You should try it sometime. Spoken like a true coward. It's not like I need you anyway. Not anymore. See you soon, old friend. Or not. Or not. Here you go, Andu. For the stressful day.
Sweep, sweep, sweep. And candles out for the night. Alrighty. I think this is where we're stopping for the night. Because I feel like the finale will happen next week. And at some point we will do it. I had so much fun. My voice is like kind of hurting a little bit. But I had so much fun. Sometimes, I don't know, I get really into these roles depending on the character. And it feels so good. But thank you to everybody who came by today. From Watermarlin, Watermelon, Nampy, and Nari. And Extermius, and anybody else who came by. Oh, and also Casey. Casey as well. Without further ado, if you see this on YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you want to see the series, if it does come live, or it's still going on by the time you see this video, feel free to come to Twitch to check me out. I really appreciate it. And yeah. For now, DjDoubleT, out and about, and deuces. Have a good time zone. See you tomorrow, or at some